Hello and welcome to part 3 of Inside Out. Today we're at the Rochdale Driving Test Centre where the pass rate is only 39%, one of the lowest in the country. And we're going to be looking at the Wardle test route, which has been requested by a number of people. Now, I do have a driver with me, who's going to be doing the driving today whilst I commentate on this test route. So let's get going. We're here at the Rochdale Test Centre where we parked the car, and so we're just going to make our way out of this car park, making sure that we look around. And as we head out, just looking to our left and right, there's no markings or signs to suggest who's got priority and who hasn't. So it's important that we look around and make sure that that's it. And then we'll turn right at the end here. And as mentioned in the last video, this road that we're on right now is quite busy, especially during the day. So do look out for large vehicles coming in and out of here. We're going to go straight ahead of this roundabout. And the view on the right on that mini roundabout is a little bit restricted. So do make sure you make an effort to check that properly. Now the traffic lights, we're going to be turning left. We're going to be pretty much heading towards Halifax. Now most likely on this test route you will be doing sat-nav driving at the beginning, just in case there's any cyclists or motorcycles passing on the side of us. The first half of this test route is fairly straightforward. It's pretty much a straight road going all the way up to Albert Roy Street roundabout. And it does get more difficult as you go along. So ahead of us we've got a traffic light where the right lane is for straight ahead. The left lane is to turn left into the Morrison's car park. Okay, and then ahead, just in front of us now, it is one lane at the moment. It is going to about to split into 3 lanes, so we're just going to move over to the left lane nice and early. Now, if you haven't moved into the left lane and you are still in the center lane there, or the right lane for straight ahead, then just don't panic, don't do anything silly, don't swerve over to the left, especially when you're too close to the lights. Just continue in that lane and just flow with the traffic at that point. Make sure you don't break any speed limits, but just flow with the traffic. And then if it is safe to move over after, you can move over. If it's not, then just stay in that lane. Just do what you think is safe at that point. We're going straight ahead here. As we merge with the lane on the right, we'll move over safely, making sure we check our mirrors and ensure that it is safe for us to move over. Now, you do not have a priority to move over. It is your responsibility to make sure you check and make sure it's safe to move over. So just make sure with your driving instructor you're good with lane changing. If you have any questions, anything you're not sure about, do ask your instructor. we will also be releasing new videos to do with certain individual subjects. Lane changing will be amongst one of those that we'll be doing. Now you do have a few pedestrian crossings coming up. Remember, these lights will only change if somebody presses the button. So if you've seen someone run across or someone waiting, remember these lights can change. If you anticipate well, you shouldn't get caught by surprise. Now ahead here we're going to have 2 lanes. However, I'm going to ask my driver to look ahead and notice that the roadworks are going on ahead. The left lane is closed. So we have managed to move over nice and early and join the queue for the right lane. Now do be aware there may be some drivers on behind you. You might not want to wait in the queue. You might try and use that left lane to try and overtake on the left. So do be aware of any drivers doing that. So we've got a roundabout sign coming up here. At the roundabout, we're going to be turning right, taking the second exit towards Halifax. And we'll see some speed limit signs coming up as well, where it's showing there's a change in speed. Let's see if you guys can notice it as well. What is the speed limit ahead? That's it, nice and clear signs there. And then left signal here to come off. There'll be 2 lanes as you come off, so you're the leading vehicle. You can choose which lane you want to go into. So ideally we don't want to be going into the right lane if we're not overtaking. That is the overtaking lane. You'll notice some arrows in the right lane here. Make sure you check your right mirror. Watch out for people overtaking in this area here, especially with it being a higher speed limit. Now ahead they could ask you to go straight ahead towards through traffic. However, we're going to be keeping left going towards Wardle. Now this test route can be done in one or the other way, okay? It's pretty much a very similar test route no matter which one you do. We're going to do the more difficult one, so this is why we're going to go left towards Wardle. And then you can see the speed limit changes again. So the signs are just before you reach this roundabout here. And as we turn into the road, there's no signs here. There doesn't need to be now, because the signs are back there. Now, just to remind you, the examiner will ask you to pull up about 4 to maybe 5 times to pull up on the left in a safe place, or in a specific place where they ask you to. This is one of the places where they may ask you to pull up. Ahead we got plenty of meeting situations. So vehicles pulled up on the left, which means the oncoming car would have priority here. Now, sometimes there's more cars parked on this road. I'm surprised to see that there's actually less cars here, but sometimes you can find a lot more cars here, especially when the schools are open. We've got vehicle parked on the left, so making sure we check our mirrors, center right mirror nice and early. I remember who has priority here, especially with the visibility being pretty low about who's coming the opposite way. So after this bend, we're going to be approaching a mini roundabout. At the mini roundabout, we're going to be turning right, taking the second exit. And this is commonly where a lot of people fail their driving test, and we'll explain why in just a moment. So here we must slow down, make sure that it's clear ahead. And what happens is normally people tend to accelerate to go around the roundabout and then get caught by that meeting situation straight after the roundabout. And a lot of people do fail there for not checking before they go around the vehicle. Now here's another most commonly where people fail their driving tests here. The speed limit ahead is 20. You must be doing 20 before you enter the zone. So if you want to start slowing down before it, so that you're doing 20 when you enter it, you should be fine. A lot of people are not doing that. They're entering the 20, staying on 30, and they're not slowing down until the very, very end. And that is where most commonly people are failing their driving test on this Wardle test route. Here the examiner can ask you to pull up on the left along this side here, and they will ask you to do probably end the independent driving here. So if you are following sat-nav, it most likely will end at this point. If you look ahead, we can see a sign just over here, guys. If you want to have a look with me, you can see it says patrol. So if your test is during school times, there may be a school crossing ahead. So expect a lollipop man or lady to be going to be turning right at the traffic lights. Lights have been on green for quite a while, so we expect them to change, and they have. And that's what anticipation is about, guys. Anticipation is about what you're expecting to happen next. And here we go. Lights are green. So it's this half of the test route where it gets really interesting. So it's red and amber, which means you can only go when the light is green. If it's flashing amber, could you go or could you not go? That's the question for you viewers. We'll be doing a separate video on that. Anyone who's answered that correctly, we'll make sure your answers on that video. So the question was, if there's a flashing amber light, could you go or not, and why? Okay guys, so here we go. We're going down this road here. Lane does split into two. We're going to continue straight ahead, so we are going to follow the straight arrow ahead. And if you look out for signs which are pretty hidden away, one's hidden behind the trees here, another one behind another sign. The speed limit does change to 40. And it's the same road that we came on before. You'll see a reminder sign there on the right there, which is just reminding you it's 40. We're going to go straight ahead of the roundabout, taking the second exit, so we do need to change lanes. there are signs to show you. There are signs to show you that what lane you need to be in. And it's second exit. So we're just going to go around here. Nice and control your speed, left signal here, and coming off in the left lane. You'll notice a 30 sign at the very beginning of this road. And the lane is still 2 lanes, even though there's no markings, it is still 2 lanes here. And you can tell by looking ahead here now, the lanes markings have restarted. Now we're coming to a pretty busy area, guys, so do watch out for people crossing the road, doors opening, cars pulling out of these junctions here. So do drive to the conditions. It is a 30 road, but that doesn't mean you have to do the maximum speed limit. So we're going to be turning left just before the petrol station, and that's just after this fire station opening here. And have a look at the signs as we enter in, guys. Come on, let's focus on the signs ahead. Have a look with me. What have you noticed? Notice anything? Okay, for those of you who answered it right, it is a one-way road. Well done. And we're coming to an area where most commonly people fail their driving test. So at the end of this one-way road, we're going to be turning right. So where should we be positioning? We're going to position to the right. And there we go, 20 signs coming up now, so we know it's 20 after this point. Now here you got to watch out for cars coming on the left or the right, and also watch out for parked cars. And we're going left at this roundabout, first exit. So view is a little bit restricted. We do need to make sure we check these roundabouts properly, and we got a meeting situation to deal with as well. So do take your time, guys, on that. Coming out of that junction, dealing with the roundabout, and then the meeting situation straight after. And over here, do expect the examiner to ask you to pull up into this bay here. It is quite common. We're going to go straight ahead at this roundabout. Now your visibility is very good here. We can see if it's clear or not. So we should be able to continue nice and slow there without having the need to completely fully stop. If you're looking out for signals and you know what you're looking for, we can carry on safely there. If your visibility is restricted, then by all means, stop and check. So speed limit on this road is 20. How do we know that? By the signs. If you don't know by the signs, then even the speed bumps might suggest that it may be our lowest speed limit. Now they could ask you to turn left here. They could do. If you're doing a maneuver in the car park on the left, you might be asked to do maybe a forward or reverse bay park. We're going to turn left at the traffic lights. So position early, and then you can signal after this junction here. As you go around these lights, you'll notice some giveaway lines on the floor. So quick glance to the right, make sure there's no one coming. And we notice the speed limit changing there back to 30. And 2 lanes merging into 1. And now at the traffic lights, we're going to be turning left. Okay, fairly straightforward that. Here we go. Now we're going to be going back towards the test center. This is where you guys need to stay focused. we're going to be turning right just under this bridge over here, and we're going to go completely into that middle section there, where into the middle lane there to turn right. And again, the visibility is not very good, so you may need to stop and check. That's it. Just make sure we check that road ahead properly because of the sharp bend. And you may be asked to pull up on the left anywhere alongside this road during your test as well. That should be pretty much your last stop that you'll do. So ahead we're going to be turning left just where the white van has just turned in there, and it's just before the bend. Now anything could be going on around this bend, especially if you're doing your lesson during the day here. You may notice there's some trucks parked up, and there's pretty much sometimes cars parked up all the way alongside here. Especially it being close to the test centre, we may find quite a lot of learner vehicles around here. And then at the end of this road, we're going to turn left, make sure we keep into the left lane. We're not driving over the middle, especially on a bend. It could be a vehicle coming the other way. So we're going to go left at the end of this road here. Let's see if you can notice the speed limit signs as we turn in. And this is the road where most commonly people fail, so we're just going to come slightly to the left just in case anything pops out, and then checking the right mirror as we go back out. We're going to continue doing that, coming back in just in case somebody's coming down, checking, and then if it's safe, we'll proceed. And we can work our way up. This is Crawford Street, guys. This is where most commonly people fail their driving test, on this road. Literally, I'm 30 seconds away from the test finishing. Sometimes people are passing their test and end up failing right here. So be careful on this road. Do experience it, making sure that we're giving way to these oncoming vehicles who have priority over us. So you can see the priority sign ahead. That priority sign is not for this part here. That's for further up. So this priority sign here, this is for this part that's in front of us now. So that doesn't mean we've got priority behind us. And then on ahead, we're going to be turning left at the roundabout, taking the first exit. It's the last roundabout that you'll probably deal with on this test route. So and here we go. Do take care when you're entering back in towards the test centre. You'll get cars parked on both sides. We're going to be turning left back into the test centre car park. And keep your speed nice and controlled. Listen out for where the examiner wants you to stop. If you haven't done a manoeuvre up to now, you will be asked to do a reverse bay park as you enter the car park on this side over here that you can see on the left on these bays here. But that is the end of the test route. Thank you for watching, guys. As we said, please subscribe, like and share the video. We will be doing more test routes, and any help you guys need, anything you've not understood that you would like us to explain more, please do leave it in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next part very soon.